Greetings, Inquisitors. Welcome to the Holocron Week 146 update for the Darth Loquitur account. I update this account's progress every week, and boy, we got a big one this week. We got all kinds of characters, relics, ships, mods, Datacrons, everything that you could think of to do we're going to be working on this week. Big updates, big update this week. All right, please remember as we get started, use your like saber, get that like button out of here. It helps me, helps the channel. I appreciate it if you could do that for me. All right, so starting out, the last battle here for Jabba the Hutt, that gets the character himself unlocked. Of course, we don't have the alt for him started yet, but here we go, Jabba the Hutt. Now, I'd waited on the Krayt raid until I got him unlocked. I actually got him unlocked pretty quickly. It looked like he was about half done last week, but about 3 days later he was already finished. So I finished him up midweek in time to participate in the Krayt raid. We get it up to Relic 6. We need a bunch of signal data. We need a bunch of Bronzium wiring, so we have to go convert all of that stuff and get it up and running in order to get to Relic 7. Relic 7 is where I have to stop. Eventually, we're going to take him to Relic 8, but that's where we are for now. So we were able to take him straight to Relic 7. And now we're putting all of the skills on, adding all of these zetas. I've been stacking up zetas for quite a while to make sure that when we got him, we could put all 6 on him right away. So we got him finished out. Here we go on mods, and we're just going to start stealing some of the best mods that we can find from other characters. We find this cross from Thrawn with health, so we steal that. We look through a bunch of different triangles, end up stealing the triangle from Sith Eternal Emperor. Maybe not the best one we would ever want, but it's the best we've got for him right now. Then we steal a defense mod, again from Thrawn, because of the speed. We've got this arrow that has a health main stat that... if we could hit speed on this, it would look pretty nice. Be interesting for this build. So I go ahead and I come in here and I calibrate. And I miss on the first one, but I go ahead and take a second calibration on it. And I hit and I go to 19 speed. So that puts me in a position where I can continue to slice. And I slice it again and I get to 24 speed on this mod. So I decided to put an arrow with 24 speed as a substat. And health percent as a main stat, and it takes a little bit off the speed of Jabba, but I'm still at 544, which seems pretty good. We go in here on Boba Fett, and I found on my alt account that getting that rocket to crit is a big deal, so I put crit chance on my Boba, on my Obtisio account. So I followed up with that and got crit chance here to 115.86%, so 116% crit on Boba Fett. Make sure we can crit on that rocket. Then we go in here to the Krayt raid. Here he comes. All right, so we go through this and pretty easily get 1.2 million. We can only do that at 1.2 million level because Krrsantan is stuck at Relic 5. And you saw that I used like everything I had to get Jabba to Relic 7, so I can't take Krrsantan up for this first go. So what I do, I kick Boba Fett out. So we took Boba Fett out of the team, and we still got 1196. So that's basically 1.2 million. It's all we could have gotten anyway until we get Krrsantan. So then I bring in the Hutt cartel here with Boba Fett in it, thinking that that we were going to be able to get a good score. And I tried that a bunch of times, really a lot of times. And the performance was always bad. And here you see we can put Boba Fett in on his own and get 180,000 contribution. Then I've got the Mandalorians. I'm not going to show the whole battle here, but we ended up with 744,000 off the Mandalorians. So our total score was like 2.7 million or something like that for all of the teams all put together. Here we're working on Datacrons, and I had to quickly come in here and start working on a Datacron. I looked at my conversion, and I had room, right? So when the when the conversion took place, I shouldn't have exceeded 30 million on my money. And sure enough, somehow I got right up to 30 million. So I lost currency somehow. I wasn't paying enough attention. But I got to go in here and work on at least one of these Datacrons, dump some currency, make sure that I can get more. All right, so like I said, midweek we got Jabba. Later in the week, the raid had reset, and I'd been able to farm up some more materials. But as you can see here, I still didn't have enough bronzium or signal data. So I go in, I convert bronzium. I bought signal data from Conquest, so I used Conquest currency to buy out blue and green signal data, so I could take Krrsantan here to Relic 7. That's going to allow me to improve my Krayt contribution this time around. So we get 1.8 with this Jabba team now. No problem to score that. So with all of my teams all together, then at the end, now we have, we only got 225 with that other team. So you see I'm up to 3.168 million with my total contribution for Krayt. So I'm over 3 million now. Just had to get Krrsantan to Relic 7, and that worked out. It was better at that point to keep Boba in the team. I did try kicking Boba out of the team and doing a bunch of different iterations that way, but it was indeed the best score that I could get was keeping Boba in the team in order to get the 1.8 million. So, and we'll get them all up to Relic 8, and hopefully within the next week or two, and then we'll be getting 2.7 million with that team, and then we'll have a contribution of almost 4 million on this account. That's pretty good. All right, so switching over to the next journey, we're working on Jedi Master Luke. Got Wedge Antilles here. We've run out of these Mark V med packs, so we're done pretty quickly with that. We got Vet Smuggler Chewie here. That's the last of the things that we need for the Jedi Training Ray event. And I do decide to put a little bit more gear on both Jedi Training Ray and BB-8. I just done this recently on the Obtesio account, and I found that having the stick ray a little bit better off helped with a lot of these events. So here we go. We're going through on the Obtesio run through the Jedi Training Ray. I did get hung up on one of the battles, and I did have to improve my ray to get through that. Having learned from that, put her to gear 10 and had no problem going through this whole event. So step by step, we get through here. And this Jedi Training Ray, of course, will be one of the last requirements that I need for JML. Once I get her up and running, we'll be able to go through that JML journey here. It may be that we can get JML going almost by the time we've got the Jabba alt done, which is crazy. We'll go straight from farming the Jabba alt into farming the JML. So here we get Ray started. We go ahead and put the initial skills onto her. We'll go ahead and do our mod work from Jedi Training Ray for the week as well, and then put a mod set on her. Got 8 mods that we could work on. Crosses are interesting to us right now, so I start with that. And I get 2 hits to 15 speed, another hit to 19 speed, take it to 6 dots, 20 speed, and then I'm completely out of slicing materials. When I worked on Jabba's mod, and I worked on that arrow, there were some other mods that I had worked on, so I ran myself out of enough slicing materials when I was working on Jabba, so I just got to park that nice 20 speed mod, but I feel like we're going to be able to hit that again, so that should be like a 24, 25 speed mod. 26 if we get lucky, but we'll hope at least for a 24. Statistically, we got a 75% chance to get 24 or better somewhere up in top there. Here's another mod that we can work on. It's got 13 speed. We go ahead and hit it. It's got 18 speed with 4 slices. It's not the best That's not a great speed for 4 slices, but it's okay. We'll keep working on it. Here we've got a potency mod that we can take a look at, and we do hit speed on that as well, and we hit speed on it again. 22 speed mod with 4 hits on a cross with potency main stat. So that's pretty good, but again, we're going to have to wait to finish that out until we get slicing materials for next week. So we go through and we just put a offense set and a health set on a Jedi training ray to get started. 220 speed, pretty awful stats because she's only gear 10, but take what we can get for now, just get things started. So we got Jabba, we got Krrsantan to Relic 7, we got Jedi Training Ray unlocked. Now we're on to Datacrons. Working on these, it's light side only this time. I really don't like when they put sets that have light side mechanics only. And in fact, they're making a whole bunch of teams now that are mixed, where you play light side and dark side characters in the same team, like Jabba the Hutt and some other teams that blend light and dark side characters. So I wish they would make some, more good generic, just any character kind of things, but I don't know that they'll ever do that. Here we get light side. I re-roll it. Basic ability getting speed up for 2 turns could be good for a couple teams. CLS or something like that might benefit from this. So we take a couple of these up. We get a few Datacrons going, but we don't have a lot of high-level materials yet because we didn't get to, in the first week, I just push up to Sector 4. I don't do a whole lot of farming. So I'll use some sims on Sector 4. We'll get some more materials there, and we'll be able to work on those Datacrons on the higher end. All right, so that's all the big updates for this week. Let's take a look at the stats for the account. Week 146, we've got 6.78 million galactic power. We added 70,000 with all the work we did with Jabba, unlocking Jedi Training Ray and all that. 85 relics, 101 zetas. Of course, when you build a galactic legend, you stack on 6 zetas all at once. It's a pretty big jump, so over 100 zetas. Now, Omicron's 12, Squad Arena, JMK's back in the top 20. Fleet Arena, we're getting Profundity is getting top 5. GAC, I did have a losing session this last round and got booted back down to Erodium 2. So we'll be playing out of Erodium for the 3v3. That's okay. We got Jabba now. We can put him on defense and hopefully get a lot of wins in 3v3. I may put JMK on defense as well and just try to roadblock the whole thing and play a very defensive style in Erodium. The people at the top of Erodium should have a hard time beating both Jabba and JMK, so that's my hope. So we'll set a really stout defense and try to get back into Kyber. The project, we've got R2. R2's only like 20 pieces away from Relic, so we'll be able to finish him for sure. And we'll target also getting Biggs for week 147, so 2 Relic week. Next week, the plan is to keep working on 000, BT1, Embo. We'll finish up Embo next week. We'll get him to 100 shards, pretty sure. And then Rex, we're farming twice a day, every day, using the 25 cost refresh on his node. We'll talk about that more in a second here. TIE Defender, Sith Fighter, and Marin out of fleet. Cantina, we're doing signal data. Oh, don't need the vets anymore. That's done as of this week, so we don't have to do that. We'll just be catching up on signal data now for a while. Mod energy, going to drop back to 4 mod refreshes a day. And we're going to start saving up crystals. The next time the pack shows up for carbonite circuit boards in the shop, I want to have about 2,000 crystals in the bank. I want to buy 3, maybe even 4 packs of those carbonite circuit boards for 500 crystals next time I see that pack. So we'll cut back on mod refreshes and get ready to get that going. JML is still the plan. We'll do that. We've got some other stuff that we want to do, building up the Krayt teams, DACA, the Darth Revan team, Night Sisters, all that stuff. So all kinds of ambitious plans for stuff in the background. So yeah, really big progress week. I felt like the account took a big jump forward. Got Jabba unlocked. Got the team all the way to Relic 7. 3 million Krayt raid and climbing. The Jedi training raid journey's done, and we're really we're deep into this journey for JML already. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be close to where I start farming JML. I may have dark side and light side shards unlocked at the same time for building the GL characters. That'd be amazing. So let's go. Let's keep this train rolling. Let's see how fast we can get there. So I did the raid stuff pretty early in the raid, and I got a nice little screenshot here of Loquitur getting 3.1 million, and Inquisitor of TCO right below getting just over 3 million. So I won't get third and fourth in the guild by the time the raid finishes. That's not what I'm posting this about, but it's nice. I got both accounts over 3 million contribution on the Kraytometer. Of course, the Kraytometer will go away really soon because they're going to do a new raid. But hey, I did my part while it was active, so I feel pretty good. Just a public service announcement. In the farming plan, I said I'm going to be farming Rex twice a day, every day. And I think every single player in the game should be doing that. With 2 blocks revealed for Leia, there is potentially 4 new characters. And the timeline to get Leia will definitely be determined by how you farm those new characters. If all 5 of them go on to regular energy nodes with light and dark energy, then we're going to be limited. And later on, when you try to finish up all these characters at the same time and you decide to double farm them, it's going to be rough. But if you start farming Rex right now, twice a day, if you're aggressive about it, maybe even 3 times a day, the more shards that you can get done for Rex, the less you'll have to farm of him later on. So then as some of these later characters get introduced, you won't have to double farm them at the same time that you double farm in Rex. Like, if you're in the last 100 shards for Rex when the last character becomes farmable, then you're double farming all that stuff and you can drop back to just single farming Rex. But he's the only Leia character that we can farm right now, so far, that's been released on a farm node. So get busy with it. Get farming him 2 or perhaps even 3 times a day and get ahead on the Leia journey. I'm going to assume that all players in the game that are in a position to go for Leia will be going for her. And that pretty much means if you've got a Galactic Legend and you've got a big fleet, whatever project you're working on next, finish that up, but then just work on the Leia requirements. And I know some people who watch this are going to say, yeah, but I don't really want Leia. Like, yeah, come on. Like, I don't want to chase the new stuff. It's easier, it's more efficient for me to get the old stuff. And for the first year and a half of this channel, I would never have recommended chasing new content for anybody. But now, the way that they've changed the game, the way they're doing the raids, all of that, you pretty much have to chase the new content if you want to be relevant and have the best income that you can have in the game. So people who think they might not want Leia, yes, you do. You really need to get that. Now, if you don't have your first Galactic Legend yet, if you're still new in the game and you're working on your first big capital ship, do that. Do a different Galactic Legend first. Do something that's a little bit easier and get started with that. Because if you're that new to the game, you really can't afford to be double farming all this new stuff. But if you've already got one Galactic Legend and a big fleet locked down, your next project pretty much has to be Leia. I think if you don't do that, you're going to regret it. So jump on double farming that Rex right now. Double or even triple farming. Like I said, I hate wasting crystals on node refreshes. But for those of us who are playing cheap to play or free to play, you really do need to get this on a short timeline. It'll still be, let's say, 5 months from now, because the last character to get released, even if you double farm it, you'll still be doing that for 3 months or more. So that sets the timeline for when you can get Leia. but just make sure that we do it wisely, and there's plenty of time in between for us to get all this farming done on the new characters. For the rest of the requirements, they're not bad. They're characters that we should already have or probably have already worked on. So take a look at it. Take a look at it for your account, even if you think you don't want it. It's really going to be important to how we play the game as soon as that GL is released. This last week, I didn't get any crosses purchased. We do have 6 in the bank now, as opposed to a couple weeks ago when we had 0 crosses available. But yeah, I didn't find a single good cross in the shop this week that I could buy out of the shop that had good stats and speed. So that's a bit disappointing, but yeah, so we're restocking those. Our plan's working. We're getting some of them in inventory. And a few of those are good enough that we could probably swap them out onto characters. So as we go through and remod some of the characters that we want to be better, we'll have better mods for them. Bronzium wiring tracking for the week. Week 146, we did gain 117 of them. So we made 107, and we got 10 from events. So that puts us really low on the Bronzium wiring. We've only got 81 as we ended it. And if we're only going to get, like, let's say 100 again next week, then we're going to be on the low end. So I have to make a decision whether we're going to just continue relicking the JML characters or if I'm going to take a step aside. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put Gear 13 on everything for the JML journey. And even if I can't get it to the appropriate relic level right away, I think I still take all of those characters to Gear 13. And then, if I need to take a week or two to work on just restocking the Bronzium wiring and signal data, then we'll do some Relic Zeros on Night Sisters or Triumvirate or some characters like that would really be improved by taking them to Gear 13 and just leave them at Gear 13 Relic 0. So, but I think I'll do all of the journey characters to Gear 13, and that way I know I'm on the shortest timeline to get them to Relic level to get JML going. So that'll be the plan going forward. That wraps up the account update for week 146 for the Darth Loquitur account. Thank you all. Appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this in the future. And, of course, use the notification bell so you know when I'm online and doing my streams. Join us over on the Discord. The link is always in the description down below. We've got a fantastic Discord community, really a non-toxic environment for new players to get help, get advice, talk to other people who play the game, and hope to see you over there. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next Holocron.